The trustees report are appointed by the plan participants and report to the membership on a monthly basis. Let's get into how the trust operates. Okay, first and foremost, the trust needs to hire an administrator, somebody to handle the day-to-day operations, sort of like the trust's own human resources department. Okay, they will manage contributions from the city and employees. They will also pay and deal with the day-to-day questions from the membership. As consultants, we're part of the team that helps manage this trust as well. And what we do is we give benefit projections. We look at the current benefits that are offered, how the benefits work for you, and how those claims are coming in. On top of that, we're going to give you future plan projection calculations and tell you what you can and what you cannot afford. Sometimes folks want a little bit too much and you just don't have the dollars and cents. We're going to be the gatekeeper for that. We're going to tell you what you can and what you cannot afford to do. Legal counsel, Sugarman and Susskind, are here to provide us on all legal and regulatory matters. If the trust develops assets in the future, we will hire a trust administrator or an asset manager to handle that. My understanding is there have been talks with Bowen and Haynes as well to continue that for this trust as well. Let's talk a little bit about why we need a trust. We need a trust primarily to accept contributions from the employer and employees. This way, it's a tax-free vehicle in order to get the contributions in order to pay for the benefits of plan participants. You benefit from this trust because, as I noted before, and as the attorneys have noted, you're in complete control of the benefits offered. You have control over what benefits are set to the amount of contributions you receive. You're going to decide, you're going to decide what the amount of money is during the negotiations process to pay for these benefits and how those benefits are going to be delivered to the membership and what plan designs we have. Currently, you have no say over that. Come October or September, the city proposes a plan to the city council, and that's the plan you're going to get with the contributions that you pay. What are the advantages of a trust? Creating a trust will benefit both the membership and the city itself. First and foremost, the savings. The trust will be established on its foundation year at a rate that's less than what the city has proposed through its RFP process. Both the city and the employees will benefit from the lower cost of this plan. The administration, from the city side, the city will have less administration when the trust is established. Plan participants will work directly with the trust administrator to handle the day-to-day questions regarding the benefits. Transparency. This is very important to the leadership of both PBA and Fire. Transparency, the benefits and the cost of the benefits are completely transparent. We prepare and release financials every year. We're going to be reporting to the Board of Trustees, where the members, as legal counsel has said, are invited to come in and participate in the meetings. That will help out and have everybody have complete understanding and grasp of what's being spent on our benefits. OPEB. Now, the city doesn't pay for retirement benefits, right? But there is an implicit subsidy because the claims experience of those retirees are within the claims experience of the city. As a result, some of those retiree benefits are subsidized by the overall pool of experience that's in there. By creating our own trust, we're going to be taking all future retirees out of the city plan and putting them into the trust. That will help lower the OPEB liability for the city. Let's talk a little bit more about the advantages of the trust. We did a little background investigation. There are 17 firefighter trusts that have been set up. A couple of the trusts are brand new. And they're financially solid. They date back to 1983. Here's a list of those trusts that are out there and some of the financials there. Jacksonville just recently voted to create their own trust. We can go to the next slide. Within some of those trusts, we wanted to give some examples of what those trusts get in as far as contributions. And you can see the cost of the Miami-Dade Firefighter Trust, according to their CBA for 2019, was $12.29 per member and per month. And you can see the other contributions there. Can we flip one more slide? Coral Gables, Miramar Firefighters is fairly new, that just came out. But this is a very interesting thing. I mean, Jacksonville's trust, they agreed going into 2020 that the city will contribute 86% of the cost of the plan. Currently, today, the city contributes, according to the calculations and the numbers we received from the city, 79% of the current cost of the plan. Let's go to the next slide. Historical performance of the trust. This is again based upon the Freedom of Information request and the RFP results. Over a 3-year period, we calculated that the city of Tampa has budgeted an amount that the city has resulted in a 9.2%, $9.2 million savings versus their budgeted amount. And how we break that down is this. In 2016, the city budgeted with employer and employee contributions $54.4 million. The actual cost of those claims administration were $50.6 million. It's a $3.8 million variance to the city. So 2017, the city budgeted $54.2 million, both employer and employee contributions. The actual cost came in at $53 million, a $1.2 million variance. And in 2018, the city budgeted $57.9 million employer and employee contributions. They actually spent $53.7, it's a $4.2 million variance. Keep in mind, these numbers do not include the city's wellness centers. And the reason for that is there is also workers' compensation claims that go through the wellness centers. So where is the blurred lines? We don't have the information based upon that, but I'm sure we'll get into that during the negotiations. We can go to the next slide. So 2019 became a very different year. Okay, we view it as a change to the plan design and a cost shift. All right, two things happened. Right, you had an alternative plan option, and for the first time, you were asked to contribute for the single cost if you remained in the simple wellness plan. So just looking at the 2018 simple wellness plan, we said it was $57.9 million. And in 2019, the city budgeted for the simple wellness cost $56.5 million. It's a $1.4 million difference lower than 2018. When we talk about the simple wellness plan, if we look at that employee contribution increase of $1.1 million. So remember, you paid more for the families and singles for the simple wellness plan. But the city budgeted $1.4 million decrease in required funds, leaving the city with a $2.5 million differential from the 2018 budget into 2019. The same can be said when you look at the HRA component. Okay? So employee contributions on the HRA decreased $1.2 million. The out-of-pocket cost for those employees increased $2.3 million. Your cost went down 1.2, but the plan design increased your cost 2.3. Overall, the cost increase of the plan was $1.1 million. Remember, we talked about that $1.4 million in required budgeted funds. And the city still had a $2.5 million, either way you look at it, from the simple wellness or the HRA component. Again, this is based upon information in the calculated cost of the Freedom of Information and the RFP results. Let's look at our proposal. Our proposal is the city, because we don't know what the workers' comp are, many members do enjoy the access to the Pt.3 clinics. We want to continue to have that. The city should retain control because it is your clinics. So the city will pay 100% of that cost because the information that we receive says the city's paying 100% of the cost if the employees do not pay for that. The city will continue to provide the incentive dollars. We calculate that to be about $70 per enrolled per month. Right? The city will pay for each enrolled in the current comparative rate for the simple wellness, 96% of the employee cost, which is the current amount. And for the family, it's 96% of the employee plus 48% of that family differential. That is actually the cost for that simple wellness component. Remember, the HRA is something separate. Okay? Going into 2020, and again, we had to calculate this in a logical order. The proposal is not to start this plan until 2021, but we needed to give the foundation from which we start when we get to 2020. So in 2020, the RFP results tell us that the cost is expected $1,213.55 per employee per month. The city contributes in 2020 $961.47. Using the structure for the simple wellness, the trust contribution will be $913.40, and that's per enrolled per month. It's a savings of $48.07 if we were in the trust for 2020. We're not going to be in the trust for 2020, it's 2021, but I had to set a foundation. Looking at 2021, when we do establish a trust and where we're going to go, the projected cost is $1,293.32 expected. Again, this comes from the RFP results that the city received recently. City contribution is $1,024.67. Using again the simple wellness structure, the contribution for the trust would be $973.43 per employee, saving the city $51.23 per employee per month. Going forward into 2022 and into 2023, the proposal is the city would increase its contributions to the trust by 6% per year. That is the average trend that the city's consultant has been using. So, when we look at a chart, if we were to start this in 2020, the city would save $871,000 for both the police and fire. Going to 2021, it's almost $1 million. You can see it on the charts here how they break out. Go to the next slide. These are the appendix slides. I don't want to get into too much detail on it. Therefore, part of the negotiations to give you a foundation from which we work from. But this is using the data. So, but in order to develop our data, we needed to use the total population of the city when looking at the cost of this plan. We then break it down to get to our proposal calculations by separating out the enrolled lives for 2019 of the police and firefighters. We had about 1,510 enrolled lives for 2019 of that 4,292. But you can see how the 2016 numbers broke out. I talked a little bit about the differential between budget and spent. This will go into 2016. 2017 numbers are here. Again, I want to point out the highlighted yellow sections are estimates based upon the information in there. They may be off a few dollars, but at the end of the day, it's not going to matter much. Let's go to 18. Same thing in 18. And I want to get to 19, where we are today. Okay. So when we look at the 2018 numbers for the simple wellness plan, because that's the foundation year from which we go into, $57,916,000. Okay. Go. Slow down. Thank you, man. All right. So going into the simple wellness strategy, you have an employee contribution for the first time on a single basis. Dependent costs there, the contributions, the number comes out to $56,452. However, if you take the same calculation, the foundational plan that the city uses for the HRA, the number still works out slightly different, but you can see there's no contribution cost. So on our note pages there, city contributions have decreased $2.5 million. We had a $1.4 million savings from 2018, and the employee cost shares increased $1.1 million. So the 1.4 plus the 1.1 is how we come to the 2.5 million. And the same thing could be said when you look at the city contributions decrease for the HRA plan. It's a $2.5 million number because you have that $1.4 million savings from the differential in 2018 into 19. Employee cost increases from $1.1 million, but we had $2.3 million in out-of-pocket expenses to the employees and $1.2 million decrease in payroll. We'll go to the next slide. When we looked at the RFP results that the city had, we came up with these calculations. Again, the 2020 calculations are a foundational number. Trust won't start until 2021. So when we calculate out these numbers, that in just a touch, you can see the bottom. You can all see it, 65,189. Okay. All right. Okay. And go to 2021 for a second. Okay. Looking at the same cost calculation numbers for 2021,
We're looking at the overall cost of the plan, expected plans of $49 million. After rebates, projected rebate amount, net number, plus the wellness cost of the plan. Total cost of the plan, excluding the wellness, was $65 million. When you calculate the wellness center back in, $69 million. You can see the 95% of the calculated cost for 2021 for the simple wellness. Now, let's tie this all together because those numbers aren't jiving, right? So let's tie this all together. Next slide. Okay. So this is based upon the current head count, how we get there. Estimated contribution for 2020, I'm going to skip that. I'm going to go right down to 2021. This is what we're looking at based upon the current head count. That's very important. Between now and 2021, those head counts may change. This is a fluid number, so we broke it down into a per member, per month number, and we'll show you that at the end of the day. So for firefighters, we need $7.8 million, almost $7.9 million to run the trust, and for the police, $10.6 million. The city contributions for the incentive dollars are listed down there. Let's flip to the next page because I'm looking for one other number. There we go. That's it. Camera guy, I'm going to move to that side for a second. So what we did was looked at the numbers here. The simple wellness for the firefighters are here. This number comes out to 978. The police number here is 969. When we combine the two numbers, we're at 973. That's part of what we did in our proposal calculation contribution. Again, the city saves about $1.7 million on a combined basis, $1.8 million on a combined basis.